water usage and reuse sustainability project. Until I chose this project, I understood the importance of water conservation in minimizing the water footprint in relation to farming, yet I didn't realize the incredible waste I was guilty of. We use a 5/8-inch hose, which is very common, from the deep well, which is about 130 feet down, and it's used to run a sprinkler overnight from about 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. for the garden when it didn't rain. That itself is an incredible waste. Thousands of gallons of water, which of course is not endless. Then the livestock. I didn't think about the impact of just dumping the dirty trough on the ground and refilling it. That was hundreds of gallons, which added up to thousands of gallons a week. This water can be utilized for plants, garden, and the fodder grown for poultry. The insects, algae, and other sediment was not harmful and most likely aided in better growth of the plants. Part of the issue with the troughs is they get dirty, especially with the cogs. Summer is the worst. Cooler weather isn't as bad. The goats are very clean and usually only need a top off and weekly cleaning. Poultry itself are terribly messy, so the troughs need more frequent changing. After researching a lot of products, I did have a product that is organic and safe to use with the animals. Mainly warm weather related algae. I found the product to reduce insects and algae growth. I started using it in September in the troughs, and I started weekly using it about 1/8 of an inch on the bottom of the trough. After about a week, it reduced the frequency of changes, which saved hundreds of gallons of water. The water had to be changed, and the leftover water could be used for the garden and plants. Hogs in the hot water don't sweat, so they need a wallow to cool themselves so they don't die from heat exhaustion or heat stroke. This is a large factor in water usage. I found myself dumping the used water for them to fill the wallow instead of using fresh water from the hose. An average day, if I had to refill a trough, the total was approximately 380 gallons. Most days were just a top off with this new product, unless the water was not clean. Especially for the horses, they certainly need clean water. Weekly usage was about 1,100 plus gallons, just with the livestock, and then the garden and other plants that required overnight watering, which concluded September 20th, except for the plants remaining. The cooler the weather, the less water used for livestock. The project definitely has brought awareness to me how personally I can minimize water footprint. The thought of what would happen to another drought and relying on a deep well for use. I now think before I turn the well on. I monitor and use and look for ways to be more frugal with water usage. Now reuse has become a habit instead of dumping a large trough on the ground. I no longer water the garden overnight. I use other ways. I use gray water from the leftover trough water. Next season I plan to use mulch, topsoil with a lot of peat to hold the moisture and minimize water needs. Also, there will no longer be a sprinkler. Instead, if needed, there will be a drip hose for drip irrigation used. The livestock, especially one horse that likes to play in her water trough and dump her water out, we recently changed to a 100-gallon trough, which she can no longer waste the water by dumping it. In the long run, it actually conserves water. By the end of this project, I have researched and found ways to conserve this precious resource and yet keep the livestock and garden healthy and productive.